You know, people like to compare anything new to something that they're already familiar with. They like to use a reference point. So when they ask me, what is Market America like? Well, I tell them it's really not like anything else. It's a revolutionary new business model. But if I were to compare it to anything, I would compare it to franchising because it has certain similarities, but at the same time, some differences that make it much more powerful than franchising. Now, most people would agree that franchising works. It's an $800 billion model, and 1 out of every 3 purchases is made from a franchise. Dr. W. Edwards Deming is largely credited for the Japanese post-war technological and manufacturing revolution. And he said, systems under which people work account for 95% of all errors and failure. Therefore, the key to excellence is to perfect the system. Well, Wilson of Holiday Inn and Ray Kroc of McDonald's were enamored by his teaching and used them to give birth to the modern-day franchise industry. We use the same systemization, standardization, and uniformity that is characteristic of franchising, but we eliminate the weaknesses. That's why we call ourselves the unfranchise. Now, why does franchising work? Let me give you an example. Every small town has a mom-and-pop restaurant that makes the best hamburger or steak and fries in town. Now, mom and pop work themselves to the bone, but they're slowly going broke. Meanwhile, on the other side of town is a guy who doesn't even know how to cook. He's never cooked a burger in his life, yet he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year because he bought a system called McDonald's. Now, we do exactly the same thing, but we don't charge you $147,000 upward to $1 million. We charge you $99.95. And we don't charge you a monthly royalty of 5 to 10%. Instead, we do the reverse. We pay you a weekly commission or residual check on the business that you develop. And with an unfranchise, you don't have to be at a store 40 to 60 hours a week, and you can work from home. You don't need the overhead of a storefront, and you don't have territorial limitations. We just don't need them. Now, you know, a lot of people think that if they had a McDonald's, that they'd be set for life and could make unlimited income. However, nothing could be further from the truth, because you see, it's limited. There's only so much traffic that runs through a single location. Now, the franchisor knows the demographic and watches the numbers very carefully. And right when they see it growing to the limit, they open another franchise on the territorial limit, say 2 miles down the road. Have you ever seen that happen? Now, you might have the first option, but it's going to cost you another $500,000 to get that franchise. Now, tell me that the second franchise doesn't cut into the first one's business. And even if you do have multiple franchises, you start to spread yourself thin. But in Market America, when you successfully build your first unfranchise, you get the second one free. And what's even more amazing is that the second one helps support and secure the income of the first one. And each subsequent unfranchise that you open and build supports and secures the income of the previous ones. It's the most remarkable system for expansion and duplication ever created. So the unfranchised business development system provides each distributor everything that they need to be successful. And we have all the merchandising tools and sales tools that you could ever imagine, and all the business support and building tools in the way of CDs and DVDs, catalogs and brochures. And we have required ways of doing things. There's a reason for it. We don't want people to do this by trial and error. We want to make sure that they succeed, so that we require them just like every franchise requires people to do things a certain way. Everything's systemized, standardized, and we have building methods that are uniform, such as the Basic 5, where we show you the fundamentals of the business. We have formats for showing the opportunity. We have something we call the ABC pattern of developing an organization. So step by step, everything's covered to make sure that the organization grows. We take the trial and error out of it. We take the guesswork out of it. We provide tried, tested, proven methods. We provide professional support in the field. You also have an experienced team of managers working with you that have a financial interest in your success. Everything is systemized, standardized, and uniform, just like McDonald's. All one needs to do is plug into the system and be coachable, and they'll be a success.